All right, I'm just going to give you some feedback on your first submission here. So I like how you put the results at the top. That's a really, really good idea, and it gives me an idea where you're at instead of having to go back and forth into the simulation. So a couple of things. You have your names at the top. For this, you will not have to do that because when you submit the final portfolio, your names will go on like a table of contents. It'll be that first cover page. So you don't have to do that for each of the submissions. I'm not taking any points off for that this time. If you would continue to do that, then I probably would take points off because that's not the way that you should be doing it. You did go into good detail. You discussed your competition as far as its planning and integration decision was. There are a couple of things that I noticed. The green decor, I'm not 100% sure if that should be capitalized or not. I'll go back in there and look, but just kind of be aware of that. Also, this is the wrong there, and I know that it's easy to do that. It's the THEIR, their members. So you'll definitely want to make a change to that. One thing for this, don't include that in there. I mean, if you're asking me that question, email it to me and ask me it that way. Don't put it in your document because this is considered professional business writing, and I want to make sure that you are actually addressing and answering. So it'd be like a report that you'd be giving to the CEO, although you guys are your own CEOs in that particular situation. So I like how you discussed your turnover rate in those different areas. That's definitely going to lead to customer satisfaction where you want to be. I'm going to see if I can get the other part to show up. Okay, I'm just going to roll this up and hopefully I don't want to take away. So you also addressed that you are going to continue providing a fair price. I would make sure that you understand what a fair price is. You know, so is a fair price, if you're going for quality coffee, what would that be? I mean, is that 3% higher than what the normal person would charge? I mean, just think about that because in actuality, when you use terms without numbers to support them, it's just like saying something without having any support. And this is planning. So this is the decision making. This is a function of management. You're planning and you are setting goals so that you have something to measure, which you'll then be going into the control function of management. So you want to make sure that you are have numbers associated with it and you don't get too wishy-washy. You said that you take pride. That's awesome. You told me that one of your objectives is to sell the best coffee in town. Okay? How is that measurable and how do you know if you're doing that? Is the best coffee the least expensive? Is the best coffee the highest quality? Is the best coffee that it's green? When you say something like that in an objective, go back and remember when you were in orientation class and we talked about SMART goals. This objective should be a SMART goal and should be written as such. So you want to definitely make sure that you do that. And you want to do that with all of your other, because like your second objective here is becoming the cafe with the highest revenue. So maybe you want to state that in a way like the dream. And you usually want to start it with a verb if it's an objective or goal, right? So earn the most revenue of all 5 teams by the end of year 1. So then that's measurable, as you can see that. So just think about it that way, because otherwise if you just write words down like this, it really will be hard to obtain them and measure them and control it. The last objective that you had was to provide the highest customer satisfaction. Once again, I would make sure that you make that measurable. So if you're at, say, 79% customer satisfaction, where do you want to be? What is the highest customer satisfaction? Is it 100%? If you think it is, then put it there. But make sure that these are all measurable, okay? So that's my comments on that one. Then we go into where you actually have inserted, and I like that you actually did insert your Excel spreadsheets in here. I love, love, love your little Dream Cafe logo. That looks great. Just make sure that this particular page is landscape, because as you can see here, I have a really, really hard time reading this. So when I talk about landscape, you go into page setup and you change this section of the document to landscape, and just this section, because the rest of the documents you're going to want to have go portrait, which is like this. Portrait is up and down, landscape is this way. So make sure that you do that. The numbers looked fine as far as I could tell. I will go back and double check in the simulation later in the week, but I did want to give you this feedback today. What I noticed here, and I know this got, because I pulled it into this program that I use to give feedback on, you don't have any numbers in here. And you would have numbers, you would have salaries, expenses, you would have all of that information. So make sure that you get that information in there before the final submission. Easy thing to do, just plug in the numbers and you can do that. So you do have numbers. You go into the simulation, you pull down period 1, not 0, period 1, and the information would be in there. So that's all the comments that I have for you. If you have any questions, I will also be attaching a grading rubric, but I just wanted to get you this information. Overall, your team is off to a great start, and keep up the good work.